SSH, or Secure Shell, lets you access your Raspberry Pi from another computer. In this video, I'll take you through the steps of how to connect to your Raspberry Pi from another computer over your network. The first thing you'll want to do is enable SSH on your Raspberry Pi. Select the Raspberry Pi icon in the top left and go to Preferences, followed by Raspberry Pi Configuration. Within the Raspberry Pi configuration screen, select Interfaces, and then toggle SSH. That will enable remote access via SSH, and then select OK. The next thing you'll need is either the host name or the IP address for your Raspberry Pi. To access those, you'll open the terminal, and then from here, you're going to enter the command hostname. My host name is Pretty Wired Builds. Yours is likely something different. If you want to get the IP address instead, you'll do a similar command. You'll type host name, then you'll do a dash and a capital I, and then that'll display your IP address. Here on my other computer that I'm going to use to SSH into my Raspberry Pi, I have the terminal open. And then from here, since I'm going to use the host name, what I'll need to do in here is submit the command, and that's going to be SSH followed by PI at, and then the host name, which in my case is Pretty Wired Builds. And then I'll do .local, and then I'll press enter. When you connect to your Raspberry Pi over SSH for the first time, you may see a message about an RSA fingerprint. So this fingerprint is a unique identifier derived from the Pi's public encryption key, and it serves as a digital signature, which allows your computer to verify that it's connecting to the correct device. This fingerprint is going to be saved locally after your first connection, so for any future sessions, you can be securely validated. If the fingerprint ever changes, your system will alert you, and that's because it could indicate that there's a potential security risk. So in short, the RSA fingerprint is going to help establish trust and ensure that the integrity of your SSH connection is intact. So I now need to respond with a yes, that I want to continue connecting. And then I get another response letting me know here that permanently adding this particular host to the list of known hosts has occurred, and that's how we set that up. Now that the setup is complete, let's run the command from before again to SSH into the Raspberry Pi. The command is SSH followed by your Raspberry Pi's username at the hostname.local. Now, what I need to do is enter the password for my Raspberry Pi device. This blinking icon is not going to move to the right as you type if you happen to be here on a Mac, for example. So you'll know if you've entered it correctly after you press enter. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the password. Press enter. And we are in. I'm now connected to my Raspberry Pi 5 via SSH. So if I want to confirm that I am actually connected to my Raspberry Pi 5, I can actually view the contents that's in it right here from the terminal. To do so, I can enter the ls command for list and press enter. And these are going to be my directories within my Raspberry Pi 5. Now, I also do know that I have a file in the downloads. So what I can do to check if something's in there, I can enter cd for change directory, and then I can pass in downloads into the command. This is going to be case sensitive. When I press entered, I'm now in the downloads folder. I can enter ls again to list the contents. And I do see that a video that is in there for Raspberry Pi SSH is actually in here. And it's the video that I recorded for this tutorial. Now that you're in, you can install software, run scripts, control GPIO pins, or even deploy full apps, all without plugging in a monitor. If you're in need of a code editor, check out my video on how to SSH into your Raspberry Pi with Visual Studio Code. Have fun creating.